Let's go.
I've been recording for like 20 seconds. So someone goes, you're the only one not there.
Yeah, I think we are.
Our first ever live. I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Austin here, but then we'll kind of go from there for intros for everybody else in the show.
What's up, guys? It's Austin from Super Dynasty Bros. Excited to get mocking here. Got some other Dynasty buddies here, and gonna do a full 4-round mock draft. So let's start with Dustin. You want to introduce yourself, and we'll move into it.
For sure. Well, fellas, I'm glad to be here. Some of you might know me as Deku25 in the Empire of the Elite Discord. Happy to be here with my fellow brethren, just talking rookies and mocking it up.
Oh,
Heck yeah. Good to have you here.
Is it my turn?
I'm going to pass it to you, Chef. Go ahead. You want it.
All lower.
My bad. Oh, hey guys. Hello, everyone.
Hey, guys.
My name is Justin. I mean, I'm so nervous now. Wow. Man, I'm Chev, aka Chev Door Sanders, aka Chev 90, aka Chev Nasty, aka your favorite podcaster's favorite podcaster, and I am ready to get into it, boys. I was so pissed that I thought I missed the other one, so I'm glad that you guys. I'm not glad of why. Let me be clear about that. I'm not glad about why. Okay, I'm just glad that we had to postpone it for one night, and I get to be here with the boys.
Woo. Listen. It all worked out in the end, so it's all good. I'm happy you're here, man.
Glad everything's going well.
Dynasty Dog Mike. Bring it here, man. What do you got?
My name is Mike Anthony, one half of the Dynasty Dogs podcast brought to you by Fantasy Football Universe. I don't have a whole bunch of AKAs unlike Chef, so I'm not, I guess the most mediocre podcaster, I guess you could say, is probably my only AKA. So that'll be about it for me.
All right.
Hey guys, my name is Josh. I'm on the Empire of the Elite Discord. I met some of you guys on the Discord, which has been pretty cool. Love to be here. Love to chat up some ball here. So looking forward to it.
Let's go. Man, I've been talking rookies all day. Like straight up, my son was like, "Dad, I don't want to hear about Travis Hunter's RP profile." And I was like, "Listen, son, listen to this, and then I'm gonna give you your medicine." And he was like, "But I'm hungry. Feed me." And I was like, "Boy, we're gonna talk about Restrepo running a 4.83 today at his pro day."
You get fed this information, goddammit.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm hungry for? A faster 40 for Xavier Restrepo. That's what I'm hungry for, son.
I mean, come on, man. A 4.83 at your pro day.
Man, maybe he was like, I don't know, maybe he slipped. Maybe they measured him for like a 60. Maybe that's what maybe he ran like
They didn't measure it right.
yeah. Like
He just did the Forrest Gump and kept going.
Yeah. He's just, they were like,
He just kept going.
Aren't the unofficial pro day times usually fast? Like, aren't they usually like a little bit fast and then they adjust them later?
Yes.
You know,
So he may run 5.12.
Maybe I need to take a page from the boys at LSU. Hey, you go to LSU, everybody runs like a half a tenth, like a whole half of a tenth faster than they get in the combine at LSU. I don't know. Maybe Miami was like, no, we're gonna be honest. It's like, no, lie. These are your guys. You're costing them millions of dollars.
Lie, goddammit. Oh man, yeah. So,
golly. No, I know.
Did we lose Ben?
Yeah, we did.
our host. Hey, Chev, they're saying that your volume's low.
Yeah, I don't know.
In the chat.
What's up with that?
I hear you good. I hear you just fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'll come out. If it comes out all messed up, just take me off the episode. Just put like a big question mark or a clown face there or something.
I'll just put a Chuba Hubbard picture right there.
Dang.
He said, why Chev's volume? He's like, never mind. Never mind. Deku is just really loud.
Listen, that's not the first time I've been told that.
No, this soundboard is weird because it makes it seem like so in Riverside, it'll sound real low, but like if I do it I do anything in Ecamm, or if I just record in Discord, like I just finished recording our podcast, like it sounds normal. But also I'll always play with the levels and stuff when I'm editing the podcast. So like I don't know what my true level is. I don't know my true power.
It's crazy. You got louder as you were talking shit on Riverside there for a second. You got louder.
Like get your shit together, boys. What are we
Yeah,
doing?
with Riverside, sometimes like you can't hear each other, and then it comes out of the recording at the end, and it works
Yeah,
fine.
because
So
the
I don't know.
normalized audio
Sometimes,
volume, the normalized audio thing helps out
Yeah.
pretty well from my use of it.
hmm
Is that what you use, Mike?
I used to use it, yeah, until we moved over to the Fantasy Football Universe. They use StreamYard now, which is a lot more.
StreamYard's better.
It's better because you got more adjusting. You can make more backgrounds and stuff like that. So it just adds more I guess pretty pictures to it and shit instead of looking at me the whole fucking time. But I do like the adjustments Riverside can make with audio and stuff like that.
Looks like Ben's back.
Ben's back.
I took your Jalen Royals dream landing spot. It's on the pod now. Yeah. I was like, hey, so I was listening to Dynasty Mike, smart guy. You should probably go listen to his podcast. And he put something in my brain that wrinkled it. And he said that Jalen Royals should go to Jacksonville. So I'm going to say Jalen Royals should go to Jacksonville too. I agree with this wholeheartedly. I'm Chef Door Sanders, and I approve this message.
All right, guys, are we ready to get this thing going? Let's see if everybody's here. I think we're ready to go. All right, and let's start this thing with the 101. Austin, you are up.
Tough decision here.
Not to take Ashton Genty. Now you can't take him. You coward.
Oh my.
Oh wow. Okay, so Cam Ward too. I like it. It's because of that throw he made today.
Yeah, man.
Did you guys see his pro day throw?
He was
I did not.
spinning.
I'm saving
was
it
sick.
for some private time after my wife goes to sleep.
Yeah, get some lotion. Get some lotion, Chef. You're gonna need it.
Oh man, that thing's gonna be able to pick up Wi-Fi if I see that throw.
Actually, you just wait until you talk to the Tennessee owner and GM at the end there. He was talking to them for like a good 3 minutes afterwards. You should just take a screenshot of that.
People been sending me propaganda all day. Like I might have to do an emergency state of the state on the Titans on Uncovered after we finish this.
God, I want to look back so bad right now. This pick would be on the block. OTB.
You can't trade it, man. You gotta pick. Who you taking?
OTB would be on the block on the chat.
Ooh.
Okay.
Trevion.
I'll go with my running back 3 over my wide receiver 1, just because this is a heavy running back class, and I feel more confident taking the elite running back ability over the wide receivers.
Oh my.
He said Hampton at 3. They want to bless me.
Pat going at the 105. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah.
I like it.
I mean,
I think that it depends on landing spot, but if he goes in the first half of the first round, that's going to be a good value, I think.
honestly, it might be. Do you think it would be better value if he slides and goes to a better situation?
No.
That's exactly what I was just gonna say. If he,
I kind of like if he goes 4, 5, or 6, like Jacksonville, New England, or the Raiders. I think that's ideal. But at this point, that seems less and less likely.
Right. So like I'm hoping he slides all the way like back to like the Seahawks or something. You know, like just give me one of those like fringe playoff teams that can, you know, it's like, oh, we're not
Dustin,
a dumpster
forgive me for
fire,
sniping you.
but we got some opportunity for you here.
What do you think about Dallas at 12?
Yeah, I was gonna fuck around and take a Mecca and Buka and just have
Protect.
all slot wide receivers everywhere.
Yeah.
just nothing but slots.
I would love Ted at 12 to the Cowboys. there's so many vacated targets. I mean, I always call him Terrence Ferguson. What's his name?
Jake
Ferguson. Jake Ferguson.
Ferguson.
One of the fighting Fergusons. Where the fuck that guy is? Like, he's on his way out. You know, there's nobody there. Like, Brandon Cooks is gone.
Yeah,
Jalen Tolbert's
Cooks
not
is
a
gone.
viable threat outside. That's a perfect opportunity to just get single coverage and win. If you can't, you suck.
I love.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll be good. He would be a good complement to Lamb because Lamb's playing more on the slot. You have kind of a man deep ball target. I think.
I like that Burden through Hunter picks. Burden, Sanders, and Hunter. All I like that trio of picks right there. That's good value for all three of them.
That's something we were just talking about too, Mike. Is like the back end of this first. The selections that you're getting there, like the value is just incredible there. Sanders, who's likely to the second quarterback top 3, is going at 10. That's
insane.
I expect that to change. By the time the real draft rolls around and people start doing this, and Shador goes to the Giants, thrown to Malik eventually after Jameis. I think. What's that?
Oh, my pants just got tight.
See.
Dustin, this one's for you.
I feel like 106 through 202.
Oh,
kind of
I know what it is.
Same value.
You got me last time. I gotta switch it up here.
I knew it.
Oh wow!
I knew it.
Oh,
My pants are getting tight now.
Okay.
That's my tight end too. We talked about it on the podcast, man. He creates after the catch. He's a really smooth route runner. Just that combine really wasn't as bad as people made it out to be honest with you. Dude can play.
There's no.
So you have him over Loveland?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a little.
I do as well.
Because of that, Dalton Kincaid, Kyle Pitts archetype really isn't hitting like we hoped just yet. While I think Fannin while he's a really good route runner, can create more in the short to intermediate, while those Loveland and Kincaid are more vertical guys.
Yeah. It feels like every time I hear a scouting report of a tight end playing wide receiver, that it doesn't turn out well.
Fuck.
Yeah. If you do that to me, I'm going to do it to you.
Look at this. California Cool in the chat said Chef got a little ditty in him. I don't know what that means, but Chef got a little ditty in him.
we all could use a little bit more ditty in us. Wait a minute.
No.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Oh no.
Pause.
Damn it. Okay. All right, boys. I'm gonna recover from this. It might not be this episode, but I'm gonna recover from this.
Ooh.
Oh shit! There's 2 Hawks in the draft.
Let's
right?
see what
Clip
Hawks
that
take.
Yeah, that's throwing me off, bro.
Civil Hawk and Hawks 12 and 29. I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scatterbo.
Cam Scatterbo.
Okay.
Gotta
I'm not sure how to feel about Scatterbo still.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. He's got like big dumb vibes to me for some reason.
Is that what you put in the profile there?
Literally just yeah. He gives me like that, I don't know, like that whole jumping on the back of a golf cart and like injuring his teammates and just like allegedly just like being a little hungover during that Texas game. Like, oh come on, man. RJ Hart, you gotta do this,
Hey, if you get performances like he had against Texas hungover, he can be hungover from me ever again.
Let him get hammered every day. Fuck it.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. He kind of gives me like
Man, that's like Luka Doncic.
He gives me running back version of Gronk vibes.
Yeah. Yeah. That
Like
makes
just
What does that mean?
just a real doofus that just is a football savant.
Yeah.
Listen, he ain't gonna outrun you.
Yeah, I know.
He ain't gonna outrun you.
Yeah,
He's gonna run through you and then crush that beer can. That's what he's gonna do.
yeah. He's gonna take his helmet off instead of crushing it on the helmet. He's gonna crush it on his bare forehead and cut himself open and get 27 stitches.
And Lenses 443 says, yeah, as long as I know Chev, he's been off the perk most of the days.
Fuck you, Jose.
I had to do the sleeper scroll for Jalen Knoll. He's way too far down there. I think
Yeah, he's way down there.
I think
Oh, for
honestly,
sure.
Fourth in the mock we did the other day, Dustin, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You took him right before me.
Yeah.
son of a bitch, Jose.
I've seen some mock drafts where he goes above Higgins, like in the NFL mocks.
Snipe the hell out of you, Chev.
Pick before me, I had a choice between him and another running back, and it just made it easier for me. So I'm going to go Damian Martinez. I do have Damian Martinez over Brashard, but I think Damian Martinez is just super slept on, man. He gives me pre-cheeseburger Eddie Lacy. Like those first 2 years of Eddie coming out of Alabama with that footwork. I love Damian Martinez, man. He can play.
You got Miami team going.
Yeah, man. I think with Martinez.
Or no, you were a fan. I was thinking of Royal. Never mind.
Thought about it.
Hey, man, I was just gonna piggyback off what you were saying, Mike, about Martinez. Like, the expectations for him were up here going into the year. With him transferring to Miami, we're like, oh, it's up for him. Like we just thought he was gonna really hit, and I think he was another one of those backs that just didn't really hit that level of expectation, even though he'd had a fine, decent year. So I love that pick right here, man. 3-4, again, just I think it speaks to the depth of this actual class that we continue to say the same thing, man. Look at the value here. And so many people that I don't know about you guys, but I know a lot of people that are just shitting on this draft class, and I don't see it. At least pre-draft, I don't see it.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
I think more what it is the top. People don't feel like the top end talent is the same as last year, and I think it's. I agree. I don't think it is, but it's the depth of this class is probably better.
That's why I was saying.
And I think you said it, Austin, but like the depth, the top heavy of this class is in the RBs, but like the depth is in the wide receivers. I mean, even the tight ends are great in this draft compared to last year.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Of course,
I mean,
besides Bowers.
Who's the best tight end last year? Like the best tight end in that class last year?
Brock Bowers.
Bowers, right?
Well, yeah, like outside of Bowers, obviously.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't count Bowers because it's like, okay, Bowers is Brock Bowers, quite possibly the greatest tight end of all time. But like Jatavian Sanders,
not even a rookie.
Yeah, Sanders and Sanat were the only other two that were even. Neither of them did much.
Where would those guys be above Tyler Warren or Colston Loveland?
No.
To be honest,
pretty easily. No.
I mean, Warren and Loveland are going to go. Probably both of them are going to go in the first half of the first round of the NFL draft.
I would re-roll Ben Snott into Arroyo, Mason Taylor.
I would love to.
I would re-roll him into any of those dudes. He got the good capital, but like I prefer all their films over his. Pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly am surprised Mason Taylor. Ben and I are going to do our tight ends video soon, but I'm surprised Mason Taylor isn't getting more hype than he is. I mean, he's a great prospect.
I think it's just because his college production from his freshman year never made that next echelon of a jump, right? Like we were just kind of waiting for it to kind of like, okay, this is the year this is the year he comes like a 900-yard tight end, or he's like the focal point of the offense. It just kind of never happened, but there was opportunity for it to happen.
Great value for a trip.
There is 483 Restrepo.
Restrepo.
Great value, man. Fuck the 40 time.
Fuck the 40 time.
Oh man.
To me,
I don't know, man.
Time, it's like it only matters if it matters to the NFL scouts. If somebody's going to still draft him in day 2, it doesn't matter.
That's where my hesitation lies, man. Is I don't think he goes day 2 now. Like at least that's my concern. If he does, I'm with you, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's,
I
I
agree.
think his ceiling
I
was
think
round 3 prior to this.
Yeah.
I head back into early 3rd for him.
Yeah, if he's a top 100 pick now, I'll be shocked. Like,
I mean, I still couldn't even do that if you gave me like a couple weeks of training. I'd be in the 5.5s or some shit like that. So.
Well, I mean, you're also not the all-time leading receiver in Miami history, though, either.
I could be.
I could be, apparently. I feel like I could get off my couch right now and run a better time than that.
Or the leading receiver in Miami history in the same room.
If Cam Ward was throwing the pass, I think I could do it. Y'all fucked up. Let me get Jalen Milroe in the 4th round.
I mean, somebody's got to do it. Everybody needs.
Somebody got to do it.
We're playing in a league with positional flexibility where there's a quarterback/running back slot, and that's where you're going to play Jalen Milroe. I know it.
I mean, technically, that's a super flex spot no matter what.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, you could play a running back in that spot, and that's where Jalen Milroe is going to be.
So you calling it right now, Chev? He's a running back.
Man, he's gonna be like. My problem.
So everybody
is,
said about Lamar.
No. Well, I didn't say it about the guy who should have won the Heisman 2 years in a row. No, I'm not going to say it about that guy, but I am going to say it about a guy who I've been waiting on to make the jump as a passer for 2 years. And it just got precipitously worse over the course of the back half of the last 4 or 5 games of the season. Like, he has the arm talent to throw the ball down the field. Nobody's questioning that. It's the processing and throwing with anticipation. Like that throw in the Senior Bowl, he throws a dig on 3rd and 9, like at the dude's feet into the dirt, and I'm like, oh my goodness! Like what are we doing?
So do you think? Okay, Chev, let me piggyback off that real quick, because do you think that's a processing issue, or do you think that's a mechanics issue?
Both. Like he threw it late and at his feet.
Oh, it was late too. Okay.
I call him Mr. Fantastic in his throwing motion because he is all arms. There is no hips, no nothing. It's just all
no rotation.
Yeah, I mean, like he's a super athlete, and that's why he's able to do those things in the SEC. I mean, like his debut was his everybody found out about him when Bryce Young got hurt against Arkansas, and he runs for like a 70-yard touchdown. Everybody's like, what is this that you guys have waiting? And it just never took the next step. Like, I don't compare him to Lamar. I don't compare him to Jalen Hurts. Like, Jalen Hurts went with Lincoln Riley to Oklahoma and became a better passer and a better processor. And he still, like, finished 3rd.
He's a bit more Anthony Richardson, honestly.
Yeah, like, it's Anthony Richardson, but, like,
reminds me of Anthony Richardson.
Way more starts. He's got way more starts than Anthony Richardson does, and it's still not great.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I like that
Right.
that pick by Civil Hawk, to be honest with you. Bashal Tootin in the 4th round.
Bashal Tootin in the 4th?
Yeah, so I'm not the biggest Tootin
good value.
fan because, like, I've seen him in the back end of the 2nd, early 3rd. So at this value, at this point,
Yeah.
he's a great pick.
100%.
Yeah, I think.
All right, guys. Let's go round by round and just talk about kind of the best pick in each round. Like, I guess whether they're sleeper picks or maybe some insight on maybe why somebody picked somebody at a certain point in the draft. So let's go over the 1st round. I think this is pretty straightforward. The only thing that I think you guys were talking about earlier was Shedeur Sanders and how he's falling to the end of the 1st. Where do you guys end up seeing him going, do you think, come around draft time?
I think he's going to be a top 5 in rookie drafts at least. He's going to go up here around 1.5, 1.6 if he gets that top 5 draft capital in the real draft. There's no way he slides past 5, in my opinion.
I thought of him as like a mid-first NFL draft pick, but like there's so many quarterback needing teams at the beginning, and let's be honest, like everybody wants to shit on him, but the dude can play quarterback, right? His ceiling is Jared Goff, and that's a great ceiling to have as an NFL quarterback. I think he goes into top 3 to 5 if somebody moves back or up or whatever happens. I still think he's going to be a top 5 pick in the NFL draft.
Yeah, no trades whatsoever. He's not making it out of the top 6. And if he does make it out of the top 6, he's probably going to slide all the way like out of the 1st round.
I can see that.
He just reminds me of a
So let me ask
safer
you this:
Tua.
if
That's a good
let's say Shedeur Sanders, let's say he goes number 3 to the Giants, and it looks like Jameis is going to start the year. I know it's not a long concern. And then let's say Jackson goes Jackson Dart will start the year. Look, Dart goes ahead of Sanders in rookie drafts.
I don't think there's any way
they'll be
that in my mind Dart goes ahead of Shedeur Sanders.
I'm not saying in the NFL draft. I'm saying in rookie drafts.
In rookie draft, yeah,
I don't know.
I just see. Like,
I just think you think just
Shedeur
top five
Sanders is such a
capital
safe
is
prospect.
people. Yeah. I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. I don't think. I think with a lot of these guys, there's a chance that a lot of these running backs get kind of disappointing landing spots where it's like, oh, we're thinking about these guys as if they were all going to be 3-down backs, and then a lot of them are going to be in committees, which could push some of them down.
Well,
and that might have.
I think that's a way more likely outcome than what we're considering based on the way that this class is set up. So, yeah, we don't have excellent depth at quarterback. We have a lot of tight end depth. This is a really deep receiver class that's starting to bear itself out, not from a top end perspective, but there's just a lot of guys that I think are going to be pros. I mean, we'll talk about it here shortly, but from a defensive perspective, this edge class is unreal. This defensive tackle class is unreal.
Yeah.
The corners and the safeties are, just about on par with any other year. So I think it's going to be an extremely defensive, a defensive-minded like after you get Cam Ward and Shedeur and potentially Jackson Dart out of the way, we could have the team still going back to their old man, we'll take a running back, but only if we're good or whatever. So the running backs could slide, and I love the point that you made about the fact that, look, man, they might be in committees to start. But my whole thought process is cool. I'll just wait a little bit because they become much better values. And those second and third round picks, I've been saying to stockpile second and third round picks. You're going to have everybody jump into the front of the line to take guys that have day one opportunity. And you'll get a guy that you had a higher grade on later, because I think the value in this draft is the depth.
They might also not get the best draft capital that we're hoping for either. Like I mentioned, the defensive line, even the offensive line class is pretty deep. It might not be as top heavy, but it's got some players in the back end of the first, second round, stuff like that. NFL teams might look at the running back class and be like, all right, we like this dude here, we can take him in a second, but we like somebody just as much or just slightly less that we can get in the fourth round. So people just keep getting pushed down and pushed down and pushed down, and they might end up losing value that way. I also think, we said that a lot of these players can end up going into bad spots. This could also ruin a lot of our favorite handcuffs spots as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with this running back class. Just how good it is. Will players fall just because the team's thinking the depth is so damn good?
Yeah. I think about like Blake Corum this time last year. A lot of people were excited about Blake Corum, and there was a lot of talk about him going to the Chargers and being Harbaugh's guy, and then he ends up just being a Kyren Williams handcuff. But we don't know. He may end up being still a very good NFL running back, and he might end up being still a good draft pick. So it's just because they start off as a handcuff or as a backup doesn't necessarily mean that they have no value.
My fear with Corum is that
but
Rams steadily take a running back almost in every fucking draft. It feels like last year, Kyren Williams a couple years ago, Zach Evans, a dude who I absolutely loved coming out, and he fell to the 6th round because I guess he just was not good at all. So they do take flyers on running backs, and it wouldn't shock me if they do it again this year.
Yeah, especially I think Kyron's efficiency definitely went down towards the end of the year, and he fumbled in the playoff game.
Yeah. They've got one.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Sean McVay's kind of known to just run through his players, specifically running backs. Anyways, he's going to run Kyron into the dirt, and he's always going to have that replacement ready for him. Like you mentioned, Mike, he's always going to take those stabs.
If I give you guys some handcuffs, would you call them safe or not? Let's go with Zach Charbonnet.
Safe.
Yeah, I think he's safe.
Safe.
We just mentioned Blake Corum.
Not
Safe?
What about Tank Bigsby?
Not safe.
Not
See, that's a new regime, new head coach. He might not be safe.
Yeah.
I also think ETN's.
I don't think ETN is safe either. It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
The way they're selling off everybody.
Wouldn't surprise me
it
if somebody
shock
else
me
is
if
again.
ETN's not safe.
Yeah.
I think one running back room that's going to definitely not be safe at all is Washington.
Oh, for sure. That was actually the next one I
Yeah.
was thinking of. I think that could be a case. What about
Yeah, Eckler or
Marshawn-
Brian Robinson.
Marshawn Lloyd?
Not safe.
Not safe.
I think
Yeah.
I think it's safe.
That one's tough. I really liked Marshawn Lloyd, but the dude.
I mean, is Marshawn Lloyd even going to play over Emmanuel Wilson?
I have no idea at this point. The dude's a series of them.
Yeah.
Like, his appendix almost blew
Yeah.
up. Like, shit just happens to him. He's a really good football player. It just doesn't seem to
Yeah.
work out for him. I'm trying to think of some other handcuffs off the top of my head. Like,
Braylon Allen. I
Yeah, that's
think
a good
he's
one.
safe at this point.
But he's probably
Yeah.
safe.
I don't know if he's a handcuff.
Um,
Like I would consider him more of a handcuff than a starter, to be honest with you. Even though he kind of balled out in the middle of the season last year to the end. Chase Brown, I don't think is the safest dude. I think his workload goes down.
Yeah.
I think Chase Brown could be like Kyron last year, where everybody's going to freak out when they draft a running back, and then he's still going to be used a lot.
They have to draft a running back. That's
Like they saw from him.
It's just dependent. It's dependent on what that guy what capital that guy gets. Chase Brown's in the third year of a 4-year contract, and they don't have anybody of significance behind Zach Moss, who's in the final year of his deal. So, I mean, I think Chris Evans and Travion Henderson or what's the dude's name? Not Travion.
Williams?
It's
Travion Henry, or no,
see, yeah.
I got Travion in my head too. Yeah,
I can't think of his name.
but they have Khalil Herbert too.
No,
Is he under
Khalil Herbert's
contract?
with the Colts now.
He's an
Is Khalil
Indy.
Herbert under contract?
Yeah, he left.
Oh, you're right.
I think
I
what
forgot.
pushes it to
You're right.
Cincy, though, is they had just severed their defense so bad that for the first 2 rounds they probably have to
Travion
go
Williams.
defensively.
Travion Williams.
Yeah.
Travion Williams. Yeah.
Damian
So
Martinez
I don't
is
see them
the
taking a running back in the first or second.
No.
I mean, they could very much go running back in the 3rd, 4th, or 5th. But yeah, that team definitely made Chase Brown's future a little bit better by basically focusing so much on the offense and just completely destroying that defense.
Damian Martinez.
They basically have to invest
Bengals should
everything.
go. Yeah, defense first 4 rounds probably.
No, without a doubt.
So guys, another thing that I'm seeing here, and one thing I think is interesting is going to be where Egbuka and Luther Burden are going to get drafted in comparison to each other. Obviously, we've talked ad nauseum in previous episodes or just in the Discord about landing spot being a huge piece. But if we were to take them in a vacuum, leave landing spot out of it, where do you guys go? Do you take Egbuka or do you take Luther Burden?
Burden for me.
I might take Burden.
Just
on upside alone.
I think it's just a higher ceiling.
Yeah.
Ibuka's probably safer, but Burden I think has a higher ceiling.
Burden's my wide receiver 1, so I gotta go Burden.
I was waiting for you to say it, Mike. Come on. I was waiting for that, man. That's spicy. Ooh. Burden number 1. Yeah, let's talk about it because people are down on Burden right now. Like, come on, man, Mike. We're both in the lounge. We saw some people today talking some nonsense about Burden, right?
Yeah,
that he was.
that message that got put out or something like that. Somebody
Yes.
said, like Burden's not a hard worker or some shit like that. I forget what it was. Something. Like, it don't matter. The dude laces them up on Saturday and makes everybody else a fucking problem. Like, he makes everybody's day a lot harder on Saturdays. That's all that matters. He's about to do it on Sundays.
And you can always tell who's watched 2023 tape and who hasn't.
Yeah, that's what
Just look at 2024.
Yeah, 2023 was really good. And I don't really think the 2024 tape was all that different, to be honest with you.
No.
I think Brady.
Missouri
But
just
look
got
at
worse.
you look at the stat line. You see 600 and some yards. You're like, oh, he sucks. But that Missouri offense was so handcuffed. I mean, they couldn't do anything.
I
I've
think
seen
the
that.
They just tried to
Yeah,
get him the
he
ball.
was
That's
a
it.
good
I've
decoy.
ever seen in my life in 2023, where he got depleted by some safety and still held on to it. Like, it was the craziest contested catch I had ever seen. I think the dude's a dog, and this is kind of the way I mentioned it, with Jalen Royals as well. This is kind of the way the NFL is going. These guys that can get open quick, can make yards after the catch, strong after the catch. Like, that's the way the NFL kind of likes their wide receivers at this point, and especially it seems to equate to fantasy success as well. So that's why I got
Yeah.
Burton at 1.
I mean, you look
Just
at
out of
even the elite
curiosity, who's
guys
your
like
wide receiver
Lamb,
one?
Lamb and Chit. Oh yeah,
Who's my wide receiver 1?
I think I know who it is, but
Oh, Travis.
he went in the first round.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about Travis.
Travis Hunter.
Yeah, Travis. If Travis Hunter decides that he's gonna if Travis Hunter goes to a place like Cleveland where they said we view him as a primary receiver, it's my wide receiver 1. I said it on the FFD.
Oh yeah,
I've said
I
it a
agree.
million times. Like he is different. Like if we're talking about the jump ball ability of Tet, and that's his calling card, and we're talking about the yak from Luther Burden, that's his calling card, and we're talking about the smoothness in and out of his breaks for a guy like Emeka Ibuka. Travis got all that shit.
All
spades.
things. Yeah.
And he's got like a 45-inch vertical. So I mean,
Imagine if he focused on wide receiver only.
yeah, if he just played wide receiver,
What if
there wouldn't be a question.
No.
100%.
Would he be 101 like over
Yes.
Genty?
We would have that conversation.
I think so.
Pretty close.
He won the fucking Heisman. Like,
And he was a finalist for the Jim Thorpe. He could have won the Thorpe Award too.
like, what would? So he wins the Heisman and the Bolitnikov, and it's like, and he just said, I'm gonna play receiver, and then maybe we could revisit me playing corner or something like that. There's no question about whether he's going as a top 3 to 5. Like once you get past the quarterback needy teams,
Right.
he's the first player off the board in front of Ashton Jennings.
But do you think that's going to happen? Is he going to get an opportunity to be a full-time wide receiver? You think that's
No,
going to
I
happen?
mean the Browns said they would use him as a full-time wide receiver. Like Andrew Berry said that.
Yeah.
But I don't know
Right.
that they take him at
That'd be
2.
great, but we don't. Yeah.
I think he falls right there to the Pats.
If he falls to the
Yeah.
yeah,
Patriots?
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think that would make. I think Patriots need a wide receiver. They've been desperately trying to
yeah.
get.
He's the
everyone
best.
to come
He'd
back.
be the best wide receiver that they have right now.
Yeah.
They're pretty solid at corner.
It's a low bar, but yes.
Yeah, exactly, Josh.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean they've got Christian Gonzalez, who's gonna
Yeah.
who's gonna be the next up for,
That's true.
Brinks truck action. Like he doesn't have to come in and guard the best receiver from the other team. He can just, hey, you want to stick me over here and we'll play some cover 4, cover 2. Like, yeah, I'll go pick the ball off a few times, and then you want to play me 30 or 40 snaps on offense, just design some stuff for me. Cool. Like I can do that. So I hope that
I'm
he
going to
lands
be
with
very
the Patriots.
fascinated to see where he goes.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it makes for such fun discussion amongst all of us, because it's like what is he gonna do? But there's not a question about the talent though. It's like if he were playing receiver, there wouldn't be an argument about who the wide receiver 1 is for me.
There's no question.
No.
So, question.
But that's.
Sorry, just real quick. So I'm looking at this, and consistently, we see Travis Hunter go at the back of the first, early second in some mocks. When we get to real draft day, and we know he gets a high-end draft capital, maybe we don't know what position he's playing. Do we expect him to stay where he's at currently, rise, or do you think he might even fall? Because some people aren't really willing to take that risk. What do you guys think?
It's going to depend for me when
Well,
Goodell
that's what I said in our.
and says the X team selects wide receiver Colorado Travis Hunter, or does he say cornerback
Ooh.
Travis Hunter? So as soon as he says one of those two fucking things, I'm going to be reacting very differently.
That's an interesting point. I hadn't thought about that yet.
So
Yeah.
I completely agree with you.
But I think a lot of it comes down to he shouldn't fall out of the first round, right? I mean, I think most of the time your people picking at the end of the first round are going to be the teams that won the championship the year before. So take a shot on a guy that, you know what I mean? Like, what, might as well at that point. It's not
What do
like
you guys
you're
lose?
desperate for. A lot of times they've traded those, but I do think that if I'm at the 111, 112, I'd rather have a shot at maybe the next Jefferson, Chase, Lamb level player versus a guy that's like, oh, he'll be a solid wide receiver too on the upside for me. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, if
And
you're
if
a
he busts, he
contender,
busts.
yeah,
But
get you a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
Get you a lottery ticket that gives you a free wide receiver, potentially a free wide receiver one.
yeah.
So if you acquired him or if you acquired the pick by trade at the top 5, would you take him there?
That's tough.
I mean, I think if it's like he goes to the Browns or the Patriots and it looks like they're going to play a wide receiver, I think I would. I think I might take him as high as 3 or 4. But I don't think that. But I think that if it's very unclear, I think probably not before 107.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
depends.
the
Depends on
only
how
thing
everything
that's
else shakes out.
crystallized is he's the 101 in every single IDP format known
Oh,
to
yeah,
man.
for sure.
Yes.
code.
Yes. Yes.
Is he like that's gonna be interesting, I guess, in IDP leagues. If he's gonna be able to be double slotted, like you could put him at CB or you could put him at wide receiver.
No, I would just stick him at like I
Yeah,
have
probably.
a
And he'll
league
get
where
points
we
for
play-
both.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
His
play
wide receivers can get
DBs. We
tackles.
play 2 DB slots, 2 linebacker slots, a defensive line slot. Like I'm taking him at 101 at corner. I'm taking 101 as a corner, which is almost like a definite no in IDP leagues. You don't pick corners highly, but I would take Travis 101 and just be like,
No.
please, give me like 3 or 4 points as an offensive player. Just that's it. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Just give me 2 catches for 20 yards, bud. And you're automatically gonna be one of the top
I mean,
IDP.
if he does that, every game, he'll probably be the number 1 cornerback.
That's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't take a lot.
Yeah.
So
Right.
yeah.
Because that's the thing with corners is that this, depending on your scoring, but they're so up and down. Because it's like if they get an interception, they have a big game, but they don't get many tackles. So it's you score 4 points, so you score 20 points. So if you have a guy that's consistently getting 3-4 points on the offensive side of the ball, it just boosts the floor so much.
Yeah, if
Exactly.
you have a corner that's tackling a lot, that means he's getting targeted. That means he ain't
Yeah.
getting anybody.
You got Benjamin St.
That's
Just
not
out there
good.
getting cooked every Sunday.
So moving on to like the second round guys, I see a slew of running backs, and one of the ones right at the top there, Caleb Johnson, was like before the combine being put almost in the middle of the end of the first round, and now we're kind of seeing him fall where it's late first, early second, and Caleb, there's been a lot of fade on Caleb recently, guys. What are your thoughts? And like, I feel like Chev, I know you've talked about this before with the comparison between Devin Neal and Caleb Johnson of who you would rather take and who's in your top 5. But where do you guys sit with that?
Don't everybody talk at once now.
I think we're all scared to step on each other's toes now.
It's on there too.
See? Yeah. I mean, 2-1. 2-1's way too low. He needs to be higher than that, based on just pure talent alone.
Yeah.
If he's sliding like this because of a bad 40 time, then just for everybody listening to this, take advantage of that value, because that's a first round talent. And he's sliding here consistently now to 2-1, maybe 2-4. That's all day. Caleb Johnson is one hell of a running back. I like his vision. I think he's a better pass catcher than he gets credit for. I know we've talked about it ad nauseum. I don't want to spend too much time talking about his skills, but to fall to 2-1 consistently is just crazy in my mind. And you'll hear it all the time. Oh, well, he's slow as fuck now. I don't want none of him.
Let's let Josh cook here, because he did
Yeah,
a really
so-
good breakdown.
So for me, Caleb Johnson, I mean, he's great and everything, but what I'm kind of curious is about, like, who are we taking Who are we taking over him? Like Colson Loveland, is he just getting a tight end premium? Just um,
Boost.
you got Travis Hunter, Shadir Sanders, who's a quarterback. It's really hard to like fault for him falling. I don't see him as falling as much as everyone maybe just be rising a little bit. Caleb, his block, how he reads blocks is just elite. I don't see many backs do what he does. He may not have the explosive ability like some of these other guys, like Genty, Henderson, but the way he sets up his blocks makes his linemen makes their job so much easier. So I know that we were talking about Caleb Johnson versus I can't remember who it was, but I like to compare him and Judkins. So for me, Judkins is he's just faster. They both have that power. That's their calling card. But that's kind of how I view it. But Johnson, to me, he's not really falling. He's more so just kind of staying put, and everyone else is kind of rising a little bit.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I think that's great.
I mean, the value at 2-1 just feels like stealing, because before the combine, we were talking about Caleb Johnson like that one between
RB2.
1.6 and 1.9.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't getting him. You were not getting him if you didn't take him in that top 10, right? So this is a tremendous value to me because of the fact that like you can look at the 40 time and say it was bad, but I mean, this is a guy that got clocked at 22.7 miles an hour at 225 pounds. So like we can't just ignore the GPS, like what the GPS tells you about his speed. Is he a runway runner? Yes. Like, does he have to have like a clear path in order to maximize his capability? Like, if you let him hit the hole clean, you're giving up 7 yards. That's just what it is. And if if you take a bad angle, he's gonna crib it from 70. We saw the catch against Nebraska on the swing pass where he just makes a guy miss, and then it's just all right. I'm gonna outrun everybody the rest of the way to the end zone. So Dustin, you know how far I've come. As far as my feelings about Caleb Johnson, I think that that's a tremendous landing spot. Now, all that being said, I love Devin Neal more, but the two, like Caleb Johnson's gonna go ahead of Devin Neal in just about every rookie draft. So that's not really a decision I'm faced with. Like we get to the second or third pick of the second round, like Caleb Johnson's never gonna be there, and Devin Neal's always gonna be there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Caleb Johnson at one point was being talked about ahead of Amarion Hampton prior to the combine, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, I mean,
so that's an insane value.
Yeah, that just tells you how much people overvalue 40 times.
Yeah, I actually 100% agree with kind of everything you guys have said. I guess I got to be the heel of this conversation because I'm not the biggest Caleb Johnson fan. I do agree, though, he has become a value at this point because I would have never taken him in that early to mid-first range. Like, it was Omar and Hampton over him for me for a long time. I know you guys have mentioned, like, the vision and the setting up the blocks and everything like that being really impressive. Well, it ain't that fucking hard when you got the parting of the Red Sea that the Iowa offensive line was making. So, listen, for me, it's Devin Neal. I would take Devin Neal over him just on the upside alone.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't argue against that.
Yeah, I mean, Devin Neal's a professional. He's consistently, I mean, that Kansas offensive line, you comparing the two, there's no real comparison. Devin Neal is consistently making 6-yard gains out of 1-yard gains, 3-yard gains out of 2-yard losses. Like, you watch the tape and it's like, oh man, I just get here, I just get to my spots and I'm gonna fall forward, and he's got the complete profile. You've seen him catch passes. You've seen him just absolutely dominate and be the best player on the field in a game that had the Heisman winner on the field. He goes for 287 yards and 4 touchdowns. I think the world of Devin Neal, and I'm anxious to see the landing spot. I'm glad that he ran a quote unquote bad 40 so people didn't get hip to him. because they're like,
Yep.
oh, well, I thought he was fast. And it's like, well, you didn't watch the film. You just looked up his name and saw that he was really productive and people liked him. But like, if you watch the film, you know he's not a burner. He's not Dylan Sampson by any stretch of the imagination. So, yeah, I'm glad that he's still right here because I was gonna be really sad if I had to start spending first round picks on him. But I would do it.
So speaking, just kind of switch gears here, fellas. If we're talking about people overreacting to 40s, I'm looking here at 2-2 at one Mr. Matthew Golden. That 4.2940 really elevated his stock. Now, are we starting to overvalue Matthew Golden? Look, I like him as a prospect, but I got some questions about Matthew Golden, and we're getting talk of him going in the first round of the real draft. Do you guys think there's legs to that? And if there is he going to go higher than this? Is he worth this level of a selection as a prospect?
I think this is the first.
I don't think he's worth it.
Out of the first in a little
No, I mean, the issue.
Go ahead, Mike. What were you saying?
Prior to, go ahead.
I think this is the first time I've seen him kind of fall out of the first in rookie drafts in the past few that I've done. Now, I mean that could obviously be different, but yeah, man, like I don't really see much of a different. Like he's got some really good routes, good acceleration to de-acceleration, double move demon, but like I really don't see much of a difference between him and like Trey Harris or Jalen Royals. Like I'd much rather wait and get guys like that compared to Matthew Golden.
I think if the thing with Matthew Golden, I think the reason why the hype is around him is because he's being mocked. I've seen him most of the time. He goes above Burden and Igbuka even in mocks. Like he ends up being number 2 or number 3 if you're counting Hunter, wide receiver in a lot of mocks. And so I think that's kind of the energy and excitement of if he goes 20th overall, the NFL teams believe in him. Like Trey Harris might be a 3rd round pick, and even if you like him better as a prospect, the NFL didn't like him better as a prospect. And I think that kind of plays a role in where people think about where to take rookies. They feel like there's a better chance to hit if somebody spent a 1st round pick on him. If Matthew Golden ends up not being a 1st round pick, I could see him sliding more to the middle of the 2nd. I think a lot of the hype with him is more just the expectation that he's going to be a 1st round pick in the NFL draft.
So I agree with that. I was looking at.
You think there's something to that?
Golden at the 2.5. That's where I was kind of seeing him, and then I saw him in some like rookie mock drafts, or not rookie mock drafts, NFL mock drafts, and he was going like 22 over with the Chargers, and I think people saw that, and then with the Steelers, and just kind of overreacted a little bit. I do think he has that potential to hit that value at the 2.2, but then again, so many of these players do, so it's really kind of hard to say who deserves to be where.
Yeah, I think early 2nd is a pretty good spot for him. I would not take him in the late 1st.
You remember I said that, like, once you start seeing these mock drafts where he's going in the 1st round, his ADP is going to climb from early 2nd to, like, that back end of the 1st. But now people are starting to get sharp on Travis Hunter again and saying, like, hey, man, I would rather take a swing on, what Travis Hunter represents rather than just betting on a guy with 1 year of really good tape, and it's inconsistent. If we're going to let's talk about the flaws. There's a bit of inconsistency when you're talking about Matthew Golden. Yes, he flashed in some of the biggest games, but he also disappeared off the tape in a number of others. So if you're talking about Travis Hunter playing receiver, and taking an upside swing on what that looks like, 100%. You take Travis Hunter and you hope for the best, especially if you're a contender, right? And then Matthew Golden in the front of the 2nd, like if he has to get a primo landing spot, which is another red flag for a dynasty player. It's like you don't draft the landing spot, you draft talent, right? We could all agree on that, right?
Yep.
It's like, man,
The sample size just isn't there.
Yeah, I would really love to be in on Matthew Golden.
Landing spot matters, but
it's, you're not, like, if I say, okay, he's going to be, Matthew Golden's a Houston Texan. Like, are you going to move him ahead of Travis Hunter and take him in the back of the 1st round now?
Well, no, but I
No.
think a lot of people will. I think if he goes in the first round, he may
I-
go above Travis Hunter in a lot of drafts.
And I agree. I agree with you that a lot of people will.
You don't
but
think he will? You don't think he will? I think that some people will.
Yeah, I said I agree with you that a lot of people will. I just think that the correct process would be to just kind of let somebody else make that decision and take value in the back half of the second round with some of the other guys that we really like, right?
Yeah.
You sound like a man who learned his lesson from drafting Clyde
100%
Edwards-Helaire.
I think that there's
Yeah, I don't know if y'all were playing Dynasty back then,
I
but
think there's
people
just as
lost
much
their
risk with Matthew
fucking
Golden as
minds.
Travis Hunter.
Say that again,
It was
Austin.
one of the few first-round running backs that did not hit.
That's very true.
That
So
first,
I would say
that
I think
first
that
week-
I think Matthew Golden has honestly just as much risk as Travis Hunter, but I think the upside is just I think it's inarguably higher for Travis Hunter. There's a good chance that Matthew Golden, never is what we want him to be, and it seems like you said, like, is he if he's a Houston Texan? What is his upside there? I mean, I think there's a good chance if he's taken in the first round, he'll have some consistent production, but his upside is maybe being Jordan Addison, Xavier Worthy, whereas Travis Hunter's upside is being like a top 5 dynasty wide receiver.
Yes.
So I think there's risk with both guys, but I want the guy with the higher ceiling.
100%.
Matthew Golden
100%.
and Tank Dell got Clayton Tune drafted, to be honest with you, out of Houston. So, I mean, he was doing something right. I kind of like the Houston Matthew Golden a little bit better than I did Texas Matthew Golden, to be honest with you. I have a quick hypothetical for you guys. Say Golden does get that back-end first draft pick by Houston, and then let's say Trey Harris gets middle of the second to Los Angeles. Which one are you taking?
Ooh.
My goodness.
So you said first-round Golden or middle of the second Trey Harris?
Yeah, with the landing spots.
To Los Angeles, right? To the Chargers.
Mm.
I honestly kind of like Trey Harris in the second to the
I like
Chargers.
Trey Harris.
Just
Just like Chev
really
said,
for
the
me,
talent.
a lot of what holds me back on Harris is I'm just worried about Harris getting picked in the 4th round and never getting an opportunity. If he gets picked in the mid-second to a good situation like the Chargers, I think you could see Harris ending up being, into the first, beginning of the second in rookie drafts. The hype will build.
There's two things that I would like to make a bold prediction on. Like, Trey Harris is going to be one of the best values in drafts, and
That's where I
Jaden
was
Higgins
going
is
with
going to get drafted. Jaden Higgins is going to get drafted ahead of him in the real life NFL draft.
Okay.
The athletic testing is gonna make people just get people all horned up, just bricked up in the cement. Oh, this guy's 6'4", he's 215, he runs a 4.4. Guys, we can't pass on a talent like this. And then they're gonna be like, well, Trey Harris's injury concerns, and then he didn't really run that fast of a 40, and like I could see people just getting real beside themselves about Jaden Higgins. And I mean, I'm beside myself about Jaden Higgins, but I watched a lot of Trey Harris tape, and I'm like, man, that son bitch is good.
Those hard slants he runs, man, are fucking filthy.
Yeah, and that's one of the easiest routes to fantasy success as an NFL receiver. Is like, can you run a good slant? Oh, we can find a way to get you the ball.
You talk about somebody.
But hold up, because people told me that the wide receiver class sucks. So what the fuck are y'all talking about? Because I was told that they suck.
I think the depth is better than the elite talent, if that makes sense.
No, I do not think this class sucks.
I think the depth is decent compared to the top end talent. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. I think.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a Marvin Harrison or Malik Neighbors level player, but I think
Right,
we have
Travis
some
Hunter.
But we have a lot of wide
really
receiver
good
twos in this class.
middle round, like second and third round talent is amazing.
Josh, say that again.
Yeah.
We have a lot of wide receiver twos in this class.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah, 100%.
it's just not fair to compare it to last year's class because there were 7 receivers that went in round 1 in last year's class. I mean, should Ricky Pearsall have gone round 1? No, but he did. So that's where we live now. Like, there were 7 receivers that went round 1. There was never going to be a repeat of that. You had two receivers in Malik Neighbors and Romo Dunze. I mean, not Romo Dunze. Excuse me. That's wishful thinking. My bad, guys. Malik Neighbors and Marvin Harrison that were just, I mean, within a vote of each other for the Bolitnikov, and it was all but a four. And Malik Neighbors played his way into that shit. Like it was just a foregone conclusion that Marvin Harrison was going to be the best wide receiver in college football. And then Romo Dunze comes out and dominates as well. And you got, I mean, guys like Ladd got pushed down. I mean, he definitely should have gone higher. I preferred him to Ricky Pearsall, but
100%.
But like I just that class was deep and it was really really good, and this class is still really really deep, but it doesn't have the name cachet that we had been waiting on for Malik Neighbors and Marvin Harrison. So like I said, take advantage of that. Like they're like we don't have to. Hey, I'm done trying to convince motherfuckers that this class is good. It's like no, they suck. Yeah, it's just running backs. They all fucking suck. Yeah, don't draft quarterbacks either. Definitely.
I think the fact that Marvin Harrison was considered. Yeah. I think the fact that Marvin Harrison Jr. was considered like, oh, this is the greatest prospect we've seen in a decade, and he didn't have a terrible rookie season. It wasn't great. It was a little disappointing, but he's already ranked by many people as the fourth highest wide receiver in his class after the first year. Is kind of crazy. Like the fact that we're already at that just shows that that's a once in a decade at best class that we saw last year. So you just can't compare every class to that class.
Yeah, I mean it's the 2014 class reskin.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of guys. You got a bunch of guys that got off to fast starts that you didn't really expect to. You got some guys at the top end that got off to a little bit slower starts that are probably going to come on here pretty strong. I mean, it's not Marvin Harrison's fault that Kyler Murray was just throwing fucking ducks outside the numbers, that, like in contested catch situations. Those are low value targets, and you're asking him to do things that like a perennial All-Pro probably has like a 35% catch rate with in Devontae Adams, and you're asking him to do it with somebody who can't see over the line of scrimmage. Like, let's be for real about like what we
it's true.
Like, let's be for real about what we saw. And it's like, were there disappointing spots? Yes. But I think it was also the fact that like Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. came out and kicked ass. And you wanted to see that from Marv. You saw flashes of it. You saw the Rams in week 2. Like, you saw flashes of it. But it's also, they were asking him to do low percentage shit a lot of the time.
All on Drew Petzing. Awful.
Yeah. Just
yes.
Fucking dog shit, man. Like, I'm not giving up on, I'm not excusing the fact that he only gave us 800 yards. I'm not excusing that. For a guy that you put in Jamar Chase, the Jamar Chases and Odell Beckhams, and all that shit, I can't excuse it. But at the same time, you got to factor it in that, like, he was in a rough situation. And that, like, even the greats can't overcome the worst situation. Like, fucking Brock Osweiler had us thinking that DeAndre Hopkins was just a regular guy after a couple years of being dominant. So, like we've got to have a little bit more patience as dynasty owners. Or don't, and I'll fucking buy him for cheap.
Speaking of,
I want to bring this up in the YouTube chat, guys. So MV Prof had brought up a point that Dart should move up if he goes in the first round. How do you guys feel about that? Right now in this draft, he went 212.
Yeah, he should move up. It's almost basically that Bo Nix, Michael Penix kind
move
of
up to 212,
discussion
absolutely.
last year.
Yep.
Where do you
You
guys
have to.
see him? Right? Like, let's say he moves into the first round. Do you see him as an early second? Does he even sniff the first round
I'd be comfortable
of the rookie draft?
if I have to. If I have,
Not in the first round for me.
I'm typically not like a need type drafter, to be honest with you. But like, if I'm at the 112 and I kind of need like a quarterback 2 or 3, and he gets first round talent to like a Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm going to take Jacksonville.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Mike. You took the words right out of my mouth. He replaces Colston Loveland at 112 if he goes in the first round anywhere. Just because the value bump that you get from a rookie quarterback getting snaps and hitting, what that does to the portfolio of your team is so much more valuable than what it would do from like if a tight end hits. It like we're saying hitting. Like if he's, if Colston Loveland breaks into like the top 6 of the tight end position, like that still doesn't represent the value that if Jackson Dart's flirting with top 15 as a rookie.
Right.
Like it just does so much more for your team. And like I have been a Jackson Dart denier, but if he goes in the first round, I learned my lesson with Bo Nix last year. I'm not doing that fucking shit again. I'm gonna get it right this time.
My question to you is, I mean, the worst, well, it's not really a question, it's kind of a statement. Worst case scenario for Dart, you get him at the 112 and he really kind of underperforms. Like, you're going to get that 112 back. You're going to get like a 2-2 back. Like, you could definitely still make somewhat of a, okay flip if you have to, if things don't look right, because like quarterbacks maintain value pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, you look at Anthony Richardson. I played like 3 games, and he was being drafted in the first round of startups the next year. You look at Michael Penix, played 4 games last year. Didn't really have any big games. He had like 1 decent game and a couple like passable games, but he's like being drafted in the 4th round of startups now. Like if you get a rookie quarterback who starts games and the franchise is committed to, he's worth a first round pick. You're not going to lose value on.
I have to point out and say that Big D is in the chat and mention that it's like hitting the star in Mario.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's yeah.
Great for the Super Dynasty Bros.
It just
We'll quit
does,
that.
that does so much for your team from a value perspective. Like, there's nothing like getting you. All right, so I've got, you get Bo Nix last year at the 112, and you're like, man, maybe he hits, and then 5 weeks into the season, you're like, well, this is nice. This is really nice. I can do anything I want now. I've got an extra QB1. And, you could go sell whoever your QB3 is now and get good value. There's just so much to be gained with that pick, and and value insulation to come along with it. And is that not what you want when you're making a draft pick? It's like, hey, I really don't want this to turn into shit. And it's like, well, it's probably not going to turn into shit for at least a couple years. So
yeah. Look at Quentin Johnston.
With Dart, yeah. Sorry, I was just gonna touch on Dart a little bit. No Diddy. The thing that I'm starting to really pay attention with quarterbacks, what I should say is the most important thing to me is their landing spot. That's a position that I'm really looking at, because the thing about a Bo Nix or even J.J. McCarthy is they went to great situations with an environment that's going to be conducive for their success because they have that play caller and a good system set for them. Bo Nix, we could talk about it all we want. None of us really liked him as a prospect. Maybe we need to adjust our process and go look at that. But is Bo Nix without Sean Payton? That's the question I ask. And with a guy like Dart, I'm not just going to blindly say, oh, because he's getting first round draft capital, I have to take him. If I can afford it, I understand the process. But from where I'm looking at him as a prospect, my biggest knock is he doesn't throw with anticipation. He struggles to hit beyond his first read. If there's pressure in his face, he's throwing an interception. Those are legit concerns that I have for him. And just going in the first round, man, I've seen guys go first round and get overdrafted and just get chewed up and spit out before they even had a chance to succeed. So I still would have hesitation dependent on the landing spot that he gets.
I think a comp that I saw recently, and I actually brought it up in your guys' rookie mock, was Carson Wentz. And you might ask, which Carson Wentz? Philadelphia or Washington? Probably a little bit of both.
I just peed on myself a little bit. I didn't like that at all.
Listen, if they get Philadelphia,
Carson Wentz.
you better. That's
Philadelphia. Carson Wentz was going like 102 in dynasty drafts, like startups.
Yeah, pre-injury Wentz was pretty good.
Yeah.
Man, pre-injury Wentz was like, you were like, oh, is this guy just gonna break the quarterback position?
Yeah.
This is neat. I mean, it's all the things that you thought about you think about Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
Or what you were talking about with Carson Wentz before he got hurt. That MVP caliber season, you were like, holy shit, this is something. This is gonna be something different, boys. And then we got like a couple flashes, but then it was just mostly like bad Carson Wentz and like Colonel Mustard Carson Wentz in the Commanders uniform. And like I just it never came back. And it's like clearly we were like, I know what I saw, and like when it was happening, it was mesmerizing. So I mean that's within Jackson Dart's range of outcomes, but also like Colonel Mustard is also in his range of outcomes, and that's pretty scary.
You guys
Man, I tried to give Dart another chance. Just last night I was looking at more of his film, and maybe I picked a bad one because I picked the Georgia tape.
No.
And it just confirmed within the first couple of seconds. I said, "Nah,
No.
I've seen all I need to see." Yeah,
So
staring down one receiver. Yeah,
No, you gotta do like the bowl game. You gotta do like Duke, or
yeah, that makes sense. Lower competition.
Yeah, you gotta do Duke or South Carolina. They beat the dog shit out of South Carolina somehow. And I like you look at those two teams.
Don't do the Florida game where he throws 3 7s in a row.
Yeah. Definitely don't watch the Florida game.
Right.
I watched the Florida game. I'm a Florida fan. I watched the Florida game.
Are you?
You both are Florida fans.
Yeah.
Go get it.
Yeah, you're both Florida fans.
Yeah. So like I was like, man, yeah, what the fuck are they talking about? This guy? Like this is the guy that they're talking about, like climbing up draft boards and stuff. Like he went,
Chef, what do you say, Chef? What do you always say? People act silly once football stops being played, right?
Y'all start doing real stupid shit, and I can't understand it.
Now he's QB2. Now Jackson Dart is QB2 somehow.
In my model, this is the QB1 of the class, and I'm like, bro, you just said you might take him in day 2. What are we doing here? Like
he leads this class pretty handedly in first read target, not targets, but like throwing to his first read target.
Yeah.
He leads it pretty handedly. I wish I would have. Fuck, where's the stat? I wrote it down in my Jackson Dart hate diary.
I see somebody say that Cam Ward was a 3rd round prospect to them, which is just like in that same.
Bro, I'll go to that dude's house and fight him. I'm looking for houses for Cam Ward in Williamson County in Nashville right now. Like I'm looking. Hey,
Where do you guys think?
Bro,
Where do you guys think Cam Ward would have fit into last year's class?
I would have had him.
Like 4, 5.
You had him
With
there?
Penix.
5?
I would have put. So, I had Caleb 1, Jaden 2. I had Penix 3. I would have put him right behind. I would have put him right behind Drake May.
Oh, it's a 5.
I have him at like 4A with Michael Penix.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I haven't thought about this. So I'm going to do it right now.
I watched way too much Washington last year, and I was pretty horned up for Michael Penix once it was all said and done.
Oh, how could you not be, man? I'm in Pac-12 country, man. Like, I got to see that shit when all y'all East Coasters were sleeping. I was watching Michael Penix crush it. Like, don't even get me started on Penix. But if I had to blind rank them, combined in last quarterbacks class, I would go Caleb. Pre-draft, I had Drake May right there. And then Jaden, Penix. I'd probably put him right there 5. Yeah. Above McCarthy and Penix.
I was a little lower on Penix, I think, than some of you, but I would have probably had a number 4. I had Caleb, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, and then I probably had Cam Ward. I was worried, I think, about Daniels' longevity in the league, and I think I still have some concerns about that, but now that we've seen the ceilings, I think obviously it's changed.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Mike?
I said that dude was taking Looney Tune type hits like every single play. It was fucking. It was like car accidents on the football field.
He just kept bouncing back up.
It doesn't make sense. Like, guy, just fall down. Do slide. Do something. Fuck, just duck. Can you duck? it made me really nervous. But also,
Yeah.
I watched him put 600 total yards on Florida, and I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I understand. I understand it now.
I get it
And
now.
Yeah, and from that point forward.
To
I
be
was
fair,
like,
that Florida defense was one of the worst college
Yeah.
defenses ever.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know, but still, like 600 yards is 600 yards, man. I can't.
It's no joke.
When it happened, I was like, oh, okay, all right. So this is just you're just abnormal. Okay, all right,
Yeah.
that's fine. And like I made an argument. I made an argument at one point that he should be QB1, but I was just like, Caleb's 2 or 3 years younger, and like doesn't have the injury. Like I'll make Caleb. I wouldn't be mad at anybody who took him as the QB1, from a fantasy perspective. But from a franchise perspective, I can't justify. Like, he's older. Caleb Williams has a howitzer, and he's really mobile still also as well too. But like I wouldn't.
It still wouldn't surprise me if Caleb Williams ends up being the clear best quarterback in this class. We're all very high on Jaden Daniels after the rookie season, but we'll see. We'll have to
From
see
what
in 3 or 4 years.
Caleb Williams did at USC, like he was essentially going to be the next Patrick Mahomes with the kind of playability he had, getting out of the pocket, being able to make things happen. I think the realm of possibility is still there for Caleb. Jaden just definitely shot himself up into that conversation of being number one in this from that class.
Yeah, I mean,
It helps that Jaden Daniels had a coach. Like Caleb Williams had no one even there fucking reviewing film with him, apparently. Yeah.
But he will now.
Yeah.
Shane Waldron's in the bathtub laughing at his own fart bubbles. Like, I don't know.
And Matt Eberflus is right with him.
Yeah. Like they said, that was a clown show that they set our boy up with. So hopefully now that he has a real coach, Ben Johnson's gonna get shit right, and we'll see the actualized version. And as bad as we think about Caleb Williams' rookie season being from a real football perspective, he's 297 yards. He ended up 297 yards from setting the all-time franchise
4,000.
record for passing yards in a season. So, that's one. The
I think it was
Bears-
In that type of environment.
Yeah.
He will set that record this year.
Yes.
Unless he gets
1,000%.
I think it was Josh that brought up the stats between Caleb Williams and C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
Caleb balled last year compared to C.J. Stroud. Of course, last year was a down year, but I think Caleb's going to come out much stronger with Ben Johnson this next year. They're going to have a much more fluid offense. I don't care what people think about Ben Johnson as a head coach. He knows how to orchestrate an offense, and I saw it firsthand as a Detroit fan.
Yeah.
Ball. Boys, I want somebody. I want somebody to shit on. Let's shit on people's picks in the third round. Start with Brashard Smith. I won't scream at all. I promise.
Fuck you, Jose. Hey, Jose was trolling you too in the chat. He said the Titans going to shock the world and draft Luther Burden #1 overall.
I will harm myself on camera. Listen, I will, boy, man. That was boy. I don't even want to. I'm having such a good time, guys. Don't make me upset like this. Don't read anything else, Jose. Matter of fact, ban him from the chat.
They're actually about to give Traylon Burks.
Ban him. Sorry, Jose, you've been banned from the Discord. Just kidding, buddy. I'm just kidding. All right, shitting on picks in the third round. Let's go for it. Isaiah Bond.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I actually like that.
Yeah, I'm not a big Isaiah Bond.
Tez Johnson.
306.
Other Hawk.
306. That's fine.
The fact
Yeah, I can't shit on that. I said never mind. I take that back.
I think Will Howard's a little high. I like Will Howard, but I wouldn't take him over Milrow.
Yeah, agreed.
I agree.
If he gets day 2 cap, maybe, but yeah, I'm right there with you, Austin. I went it right there. Even I'm looking at Tez Johnson, man. Like, I hate it because I loved his film. I loved his film so much, but a little body, a little weight, man. These are grown ass men playing press man coverage on the outside. I just, if you're not that elite separator, you got some speed. I have a hard time trusting you. And I loved Tank too, and Tank was a much superior prospect to Tez.
Oh yeah, man.
You can't weigh 155 and then run a 4.55.
No.
No.
You gotta have one of the goods or the other. You gotta be fast, real fast, or you gotta be, like have normal size. Be a normal size human. Like there's 8th graders running around, playing 7-on-7 at 5'10", 150 and doing work. Like
For real.
we can't, you can't run 4.5 in the men's league and do, and hope to do, and then I'll be the guy. I'll do it. Xavier Restrepo.
Oh,
Get out of here.
did he go in the 3rd? Oh, he did.
Basically
Okay.
a 4th round pick. It's basically a 4th round pick.
It's in the 3rd round, boys, and I'm hating hard.
We got to get Restrepo off the goddamn board.
Get him out of here.
Just kidding. Let's see.
I wanted to fuck with Mike because I was watching the stream the other day where y'all were going off about Xavier Restrepo.
You're not a Restrepo guy?
Nah, man. One of my boys was at the Senior Bowl was like, hey, so I know you told me to watch Xavier Restrepo, but I don't like what I'm seeing. And then I went back and watched, I watched a lot of the tape and I was like, no, I won't be moved off of this. I'm not going to be moved.
You know what?
off
If you want some positive Restrepo tape, watch the Cal game. He had a lot of really big.
The Cal game, like the Cal game and the Florida game are like his magnum opus.
Yeah.
And you're like, yes, this is it. This is it. But he's basically Kyle Phillips in a Miami uniform. And I maybe I have PTSD. Maybe I have PTSD, Kyle Phillips was a really cool idea for a while, but I can't do this to myself again.
Yeah, 3 weeks into his rookie season, Kyle Phillips was getting traded for future firsts.
Kyle Phillips.
Oh
And
my
then
God!
just fell off a cliff.
I remember. I was there. Everett Farm remembers that shit.
Man, what a time.
Super Bowl champion Kyle Phillips.
Oh, fuck. Forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah, see? Even you forgot about that.
The Eagles man. He said, "Oh fuck."
I forgot he was on that fucking roster. Shit.
What is he, like a special teams guy now? Is that what he's doing?
He's
Bro, I
behind
didn't think he
Britton
was
Covey,
active.
which you should never be behind Britton Covey.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Nah, dude, I don't understand. I wanted to be in on Xavier Restrepo. My boy gave me the bad stuff from the Senior Bowl, and then it's just been one negative. He was like, man, it doesn't look like. So you know how with Julian Edelman and the quintessential slot receivers, they're super sudden. Jalen Noel, for example. It's super sudden. It's and at the top of his routes, there's a separation that occurs because that dude is snapping the route off, and he was just like, I don't see it. He was like, I don't see it. It's it's not happening that way. He's winning some reps, but it just doesn't look the way that I know you want it to look. And I was like, you do know how I like for receivers to look in and out of breaks. I'm not done yet though. I won't do it. And then it just got the more I went back into it, I was just like, he might be right a little bit. I don't want you to be right. I don't want you to be right at all, but you might be more right than I want you to be.
So which guys from the 4th round do you like better than Restrepo?
Ricky White, Torrey Horton,
Jack Besh.
unquestionably. Yeah. Not Savion Williams. I would take Restrepo over Savion Williams still.
I think I'd take Besh over
I think I'd
Restrepo,
take
but I
Restrepo
still
over
probably have
Torrey.
Restrepo ahead of the other two.
Yeah.
You would have Restrepo over Horton?
Yeah.
I need to do a deeper dive into Horton, but as of now, I do still have Restrepo.
Let's
higher.
fight about it.
Let's fight about it. Chef just wants to fight, yo. He just wants to fight.
No, I love Torrey Horton. In almost every mock draft I've done for Titans Uncovered, I have the Titans taking Torrey Horton in the 4th round. You know, so Colorado State got super weird about how they used him in 2024 and just ran him almost exclusively on fucking drag routes. But he can do so much more. I mean, you go to the 2023 Colorado versus Colorado State game, and he was a man on a mission in that game. And in 2023 as a whole, he was really good. And so this whole 2024 thing is just like the Luther Burden hole, like not the Luther Burden hole, guys. Again, no Diddy. It's just like the whole Luther Burden thing where like you just had a complete change in the way that the offense was functioning and his role in that offense. And so that to me is where it kind of gets weird. You're like, well, does he have the complete profile? And it's like, yes, go. You just have to watch multiple years of film. Sometimes college coaches do fucking weird shit and decide to just go away from what worked for a player and their skill set. Like, just turn the tape on, man. So
he played hurt a little bit too down the stretch, and at various points in the year he wasn't fully healthy. And with Horton, he's a guy that had a chance to transfer, and I wish that he would have. He had a chance to transfer up. Playing in the Mountain West Conference, man, it's hard to get any real draft buzz in my mind because you just look at the level of competition. And but like to your point, his tape against Colorado was excellent. That first game, like they probably should have beaten Colorado in Boulder.
Yeah,
it was. I was actually there that night. It was rocking, man. It went to like double OT, something crazy. I was pretty drunk. I ain't gonna lie, but he was giving them the work, and he was like clearly the only offensive weapon on that team. And you knew what they were going to do on offense, and they just kept getting him the ball. He moved the chains on 3rd down. Like he was just unstoppable. So I mean, the talent is there.
Travis Hunter? Was Travis Hunter like on him?
At times, they moved him around a lot to try to get him off that, and I think Travis Hunter got hurt that game too.
Yeah.
He kind of had a cheap shot.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I mean, they were.
Yeah, I remember.
I think one of the corners, they were refusing to play Cormani McClain, if I'm not mistaken.
Go Gators.
Yeah. And they were forced to play some guy, and I forget who they played, but they weren't really playing Cormani McClain, and so he was feasting out there in 2023, and it made me real sad. Like you said, he didn't transfer because they just got on some weirdo shit with him in 2024, and it's like, yeah, you just run drags now. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Honestly,
and
look at Horton. So I'm not gonna fight you on that.
You should fight him with words.
All right, so guys, there's 2 running backs that didn't get drafted in this mock that I think is worth discussing: Jordan James and Jaquaz Hunter.
Oh, there's a 3rd.
Jaquez.
Easily over Donovan Edwards.
Yes.
I got a 3rd too.
I like Jaden Blue.
I still got love for Rocket Sanders too. I got him. He was in my queue.
Yeah, Jaden Blue out of Texas, like he ran a really fast 40. I don't remember the time off the top of my head. I've seen him mocked in the 3rd sometimes. So it just kind of depends if he gets a good landing spot, and I think he could be a guy that we end up, talking about much higher. The fact that he wasn't even drafted here, I think it's the first time I've seen a mock where he didn't get drafted at all.
Yeah, he's got a great receiving profile too.
Yes.
I like Jarquez Hunter too. That was a good call out, Josh.
Thank you.
That was a good call.
Guys.
I would take like any of those running backs you mentioned over Savion Williams, Donovan Edwards. Like I would take any of them. And I'd even take Thomas Fidone from Nebraska over both those dudes as well. Fuck it. I think Thomas Fidone can play if he just doesn't tear his ACL every 5 minutes.
Yeah. What about Rourke right here, the quarterback at 4'9"? I don't think I've ever seen him drafted this high.
Yeah.
No.
I
don't know if I've ever seen him drafted.
Tyler Shuck. Like,
I
take him in the 4th.
Yeah. Fuck.
I'd rather have him. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did Shuck not make it?
I'd rather
He's
take
another
a
one that you have to
30-year-old
scroll for about
Shuck
15 minutes to find. So
This
that
Hawks
hurts.
guy, this is actually Rourke himself. That's what happened here.
That's the evil Hawk. We got Josh Goodhawk, and then we got the anti-Hawk here.
Yeah.
Fucking hurt
Anti-Hawk.
I would take
Oh.
over like Quinn Ewers. I would take him over Rourke. Like, I mean, it's kind of hard to say that over Ewers just because of the whole age. Like the dude is like 89 years old. You know?
Yeah.
You know, but like on film, I prefer Shuck over Ewers.
Man, Shuck.
Hey,
This being his first year to actually get to stay healthy and play, like we could have just fast forwarded. You know, if we could have just gotten him healthy a couple years earlier, we're talking about that's an NFL guy, man, without question.
Yeah.
Without question,
Oh,
he's
I
an
think he
NFL
would.
guy. So, you know, he gets with Brian Brom and Jeff Brom, and they do their thing. You know, if we get this guy healthy a couple years earlier, like we're talking about that guy being easily like a day 2 pick. Like all the tools are incredible. Like
his arm is amazing.
He's got
His arm is amazing. He's got such great arm talent.
make every throw. I wish we had the fucking remote from Click just to go back and like save him from himself, man. Like,
yeah, and it's like
Right.
horrible. It's like horrible fucking injuries. It's like back-to-back broken collarbones, like broken fibula, just all like stuff that's like you gotta have some real it's like gumption about you to come back from shit like that. Like maybe not a broken collarbone, but 2 of them. It's like, man, am I the dude from fucking Glass? Like, am I Mr. Glass? Like, what am I doing?
he's the SpongeBob character that comes out when they're selling chocolates and he's like, "Good morning, I break
What do you guys think of Nick Nash? I haven't heard a lot of people talking about him, but he was incredible last year at San Jose State.
He was a great C2C player. Yeah, he was a great C2C player. Very productive for your college fantasy teams. I don't know about him as a legit NFL wide receiver though. Yeah. Very productive for San Jose State.
Any other overall thoughts on the draft, guys?
So I thought it was kind of weird that Tootin went in the 4th round, and like before he was going like into the 2nd, like that was very surprising to me.
Yeah.
I agree. I said that a little earlier because I like that pick by you. I was kind of surprised he fell that far because like the love for Tootin has gotten a little bit out of control, a little too spicy for the pepper for me. But like getting him there, I like it.
Yeah, I mean this is a 49ers pick if I've ever fucking seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Early day 3.
Yeah.
Let go of Elijah Mitchell just to take Bashal Tootin.
Yeah. You let go of
Mitchell
Mason.
and Jordan Mason are gone.
Yeah, you let Elijah Mitchell go. You let Jordan Mason go. Like, yeah, just go ahead and just fill the backfield with fucking speed demons like Isaac Garendo and Bajal Tootin to back up Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get a random.
We didn't mention Garendo as a handcuff.
Fucking sell Garendo if you can. Any fucking early 3rd, I'll take it.
Oh my god. If I could turn Isaac Garendo into Brashard Smith, I'm not.
Oh,
you probably can in a lot of leagues.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out right now. Sell my Garendo picks.
I sold all my Garendo when he was a starting running back.
Same.
That's fine.
I don't have any. I have no Garendo whatsoever because I was just not interested at all.
I was scooping him in the 4th last year, and you know I feel like if I can get any 3rd, that's a return on investment I'm willing to accept immediately. If you're watching this, we're in a league together. If you want Isaac Garendo, you just send me a 3rd round pick, any 3rd round pick. Not saying that like I'm like desperate to get him off my roster. Definitely not that at all. But just, you know, maybe just send me a 3rd round pick and you can have him. 49ers.
I've seen a lot of buzz on X of like people liking Garendo. So I think you might be able to get that done.
Bro, people are super horny for Garendo. Like super horny. It's ridiculous.
I think there's something to be said for really anybody that's in that offense can produce, and even if they're just a guy.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Can't wait
I
till
mean,
RJ
it's
Harvey
that goes.
Couch in
That's
their hand.
yeah, that's a tale.
That goes back to Denver.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
goes back to his daddy in Denver back in the day, Olandis Gary. Like,
Do you guys remember how
Tatum
good
Bell?
Evan Coleman was for a year?
yeah, like it just that offense will support a running back to a way relevant fantasy finish, despite just being mid as all get out. You know, like you just had to give him touches, and it just is. It's like Herman Boone's like, hey, just like Novocaine, give it time, it always works. Like it just, yeah, I you know, cool, you're big, you're fast, you run a 4.3, but like I don't think you're actually good at running back.
I also
Yep,
think I think we have no reason to believe that CMC isn't going to come back and be perfectly fine. I mean, the injury he had is not something that should last into next season.
That was just a super
it's not like we're gonna get-
situation, like that entire like beginning of the season for CMC. It's like, he'll be back, and then it's like, something's a little weird about this. Like, I don't know what the fuck was going on with CMC last year. I mean, you guys probably know better than I do because I'm not a health expert at all. But I was very confused about him.
Well, the one PT that could actually tell us what was going on with him is off the camera right now.
I see a blank screen on this thing that says,
I mean,
when we needed him the most.
yeah, it scares
He
the
vanished.
ever living shit out of me that CMC could just go through this whole injury cycle thing. I mean, the last time that we went through this in Carolina, he was basically useless for like 2 years. So we'd be talking about his age
And then he was-
28 and age 29 seasons being completely.
But then he was the RB1 for like 3 years in a row after that.
And then he comes back and he's like, yes, exactly. But like we've got to be on the wrong side of that now, right? Like it's just it's not possible for him to just go through a bunch of injuries again and then come back and be like, oh well, yeah, I'm an RB1 now again, guys. Remember me? Like and the price will be so cheap if he fucks us over again this year that I'll be tempted to buy back in. Just putting it'd be almost Kyle Pitts level, like it's my time to happen, but it's already happened. So you just want to be like, yes, I can do this. I'm right this time. And he could just completely fuck my rosters this year, and I don't like it. I don't like the way it makes me feel. I'm out of the Christian McCaffrey business, boys.
yeah, same here.
Oh, hey,
I think he's gonna be a great. I think he's gonna be a great redraft value. I know we're dynasty guys, but redraft value. I think you can probably get him in the 3rd or 4th round this year, with upside of being a top 5 guy again.
I just did a best ball review, like 1st round review, and right now Christian McCaffrey is going at pick 15.
Ah, fuck that.
Yeah, RB7.
203.
Yeah.
That's a little high. I think I do the 2-3 turn. Give me pick 24, 25. I think I'd go there. That's
He's
probably
long
where I'd be
gone, boss.
The best ball's a little different. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean,
Where's Austin Genty typically going in best ball right now?
pick 12.
Yeah. I haven't done any best ball yet, but yeah.
Yeah. So just to run down the top 5, it's Saquon, the running back. It's Saquon, Bijan, Gibbs, Genty, Achane.
Where's Henry?
6.
I think that's good value.
I thought it was good value too. I think it's
Yeah.
tremendous value.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's a guy
I think
that
I'd take
like 25 touchdowns, even if the rushing efficiency declines.
for 1 year.
Actually,
Give me Henry over Genty or Achane.
Yeah.
I was actually going to ask you about Achane. Would you,
Yeah,
if you
I-
had the
yeah.
opportunity to flip Achane for like an Omari and Hampton, would you do it?
Ooh, I'll let somebody else answer first. I know my answer.
Well,
I'm gonna say no.
Mike, didn't we just make this trade, basically?
Essentially, yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. We got the H-hand side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, for me, it's not only do the injuries for H-hand scare me, the injuries to Tua scare the fuck out of me when it comes to H-hand. I'm trying to find the numbers here because I took it down a few days ago. Okay.
Oh, I can
So
give
week
it to
two-
you.
It's terrible when Tua
Yeah,
was
so
out.
the weeks that Tua missed is week 3, week 4, week 5, week 7, 17, and 18. H-hand's points were 8.8, 5.9, 2.7, 10.5, 5.8, and then 18. He's borderline a flex, not even like, almost not even an RB2 with most of these points. So I'm going to re-roll and take I believe, the safer option in Omari and Hampton.
Yeah.
Hey,
and-
Like,
At least
Omari
they
Hampton
upgraded their
can
backup.
run the NFL right now and be a 3-down
So-
back. A-Chain doesn't have
If
it.
Tua gets hurt, they have Zach Wilson now, so we should be good.
Oh, fuck.
Hey,
To
Mom's
circle
got-
Hey, Zach Wilson spent a year with Sean Payton. He's fixed.
man.
It was Rome, the 102, the 205 for AJ Brown and H-hand.
Rome, the 102, the 105 for AJ Brown and H.
The 205
205.
205.
Tua.
for
I'm reading
AJ Brown and H-hand. And we're competing now.
Yeah, I mean, if you're competing, then yeah, I could see that. I could see that making sense. That makes a ton of sense if you're competing. I mean, it makes a ton of sense both ways. Like if you're gonna re-roll and just try to get back into the RB1 business, you do it with a workhorse, right? Like you do it with a guy that profiles like a Marion Hampton, and then you can go get one of these receivers, or you can like all these running backs are still available to you in the second round, so you can double tap on running back, and you got Roma Dunze, who I still love. I'm not ready to quit
thoroughly
yet.
believe in Roma Dunze.
Shouldn't be.
Thoroughly believe in Roma Dunze.
Yeah,
Have
I
you
can't quit him
conflict
yet.
tactic
We also have Jalen.
I will
Hurts.
never quit him.
And we turned around and traded the 101 for Drake May straight up.
The 101 for Drake May straight up. Yeah.
6
Yeah,
point
do
passing
that.
touchdown too. I think that makes a difference.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
I mean, yeah. Would Drake May be the 101 in this fucking class? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was what I thought when I had seen it.
Yeah.
The guy just straight up offered me Drake May for the 101. I was like, ugh, how do I not accept that?
Yeah, that's a fucking gift there, Ben. Shit.
Especially because we have Jalen Hurts, and then we have like a lot of.
We
a lot
had
of
nobody.
Mason
We had
Rudolphs.
all backups. It was basically an orphan that had we had the 101 and the 102. And so we ended up flipping
guys
basically
drafted
both
it,
of
didn't
those.
No.
We didn't draft it.
It
No.
was an orphan.
I thought you did.
It was I don't even know whose orphan it was, but yeah, we
yeah, we
were
did
probably
basically a
easily the
one-year
worst
punt.
team, and within 2 trades we're competing.
Well, Rasheed Rice was out for the
Jesus.
year, but a bunch of others.
Damn.
Yeah, we have Nico.
Nico Collins, C.J. Hawkinson.
Nico.
Yeah, and Gibbs. So I mean, not the worst team. We had a lot of pieces. I mean, we have Bucky Irving as our flex right now. So
Ooh, that's a good question. I would like to pose to the fellas here. Okay, so you're a contender, and a Jonathan Taylor owner comes to you and says, "I'll trade you Jonathan Taylor straight up for Bucky Irving."
Yes.
Take
For me,
Jonathan.
yes. I would take Jonathan Taylor.
So right now, there are people who value Bucky Irving more highly than JT.
You would have to.
I
give
don't
me a
understand
plus.
take advantage of that.
No,
It's because he just performed recently. Recency bias. That's what it
I
is.
mean,
You don't need-
Jonathan Taylor was better than Bucky Irving last season.
Yeah, he went for 1,400 last season.
Right.
Jonathan Taylor
Quietly.
won me multiple fantasy championships. I mean, at the end of the year, he was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, if you survived the fucking thing that he did in week 15 or whatever it was, he definitely won you your
Dropping the
fantasy
ball.
championship.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm so glad he sat on my bench and I was on bye that week.
Oh man. Yeah, I had to play him. I had to play him in a league in a championship where I had scored the most points, but this dude just had a fucking strap and I mean everybody in his lineup put up like 20 plus and just steamrolled me. It was rough. It was absolutely.
I lost one on Zach Ertz scoring 25 on Sunday Night Football.
That's,
Zach Ertz.
I would want to hurt my neighbor's animals, man. Just getting Zach Ertz, just getting Zach Ertz out of a championship. Like I don't know that I would
Right.
do something like that.
That does not hurt.
Yeah.
Hit a new low.
That would feel terrible. That would feel absolutely terrible.
Can confirm it does.
I mean, I'm here with you, bud. I don't, you know, it didn't happen to me that way. I got booty blasted in the upside down with just a lineup that I was never gonna beat no matter what.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, were you top 5 at your position that week? You're in this guy's lineup.
Do you have Devontae Smith?
Yeah.
I guess he had a huge week.
Yeah.
I actually just thought of something now that you mentioned Devontae. I got into a discussion with somebody on a podcast. Would you rather have Emeka Ibuka or Devontae Smith?
Devontae Smith for me easily.
Yeah, it's Devontae for me. You're really just kind of hoping Emeka hits the same
Right.
thing as
Yeah.
Devontae
Yeah.
Smith, but I think Devontae.
I think we want Emeka Ibuka to beat Devontae Smith.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. That's
Devontae Smith could be a team's one. Shit, he was Philly's one before AJ Brown was there.
the problem.
I saw Devontae Smith fucking moss Pat Surtain when they were both young. Like in Denver, I'm holding my newborn son saying, I think you're gonna be my good luck charm, son. And then fucking Devontae Smith did that shit to poor Surtain. And man, I'm just come on. We this is the time of the year where we're gonna value the rookies, right? Every rookie's gonna hit, every rookie's gonna be the best at their position. We've seen fucking Devontae Smith do it. The Heisman winning wide receiver Devontae Smith.
The problem is the shift in the offensive philosophy and just the total lack of targets for Devontae Smith. Now let's say Emeka Ibuka, we take Matthew Golden out of Houston and we put Emeka Ibuka there, or we put Emeka Ibuka with let's say like the Rams, or no, not the Rams. That's okay with Devontae. With Devontae Adams, that's kind of out. But
What about the Packers?
How about Washington?
Yeah, the Packers or Washington. So let's give him a landing spot. You still taking Devontae Smith?
Absolutely.
Long term,
I
yes.
think I would.
I believe in the talent so much more.
Devontae missed 4 games, still finished as wide receiver 27, and finished as wide receiver 17 in points per game. He missed 4 games, still finished as wide receiver 27. I'm in. Give me Devontae.
Mike, who's the OC for you guys now?
Fucking. I'm blanking now. Hold on, let me look that up.
Because obviously Kellen Moore is not there anymore. So
Yeah.
I think they went with somebody from. I'm certain they went with somebody from within.
They did.
So, the continuity.
Kevin Patulio.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
They also hired the head coach from Bowling Green. as
He
an
was
offensive assistant,
passing game
which means
coordinator.
Harold Fannon's about to be evil, but that's besides the point.
probably would. Your fucking GM. I hate him. He's so good. I love him and hate him.
Oh, fucking good.
Wasn't there like some crazy thing with a compensatory pick for the Eagles, Mike, where like
Dude, they
you
have, like,
guys get like an
27
extra
picks.
second or a third?
They have so many fucking picks. I don't even know. Like, you can't draft that many players. I don't understand what you do.
Fuck Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, he's gonna move up.
over or under 3.5 Georgia defenders drafted by the Eagles this year.
Oh, bare minimum. Bare minimum.
Dude, they honestly need to chill with that. Like, there's gonna be like, they need
There's
to
gonna
chill with the
be
amount of Georgia players.
There's gonna be a meteoric rise in DUIs amongst Eagles players. You keep
Dude,
drafting.
isn't that fucking insane? The amount
Yeah.
of DUIs out of the Georgia players.
I feel like you don't even have to like Athens is not a place where you just have to drive everywhere.
That's part of your NIL deal is that fucking DUI comes with it.
Yeah, like you get a DUI and you also get like an unlimited subscription to like Georgia Uber that they'll just be like, nah, I gotta drive this Hellcat, bro.
If you have a Hellcat, you got to drive a Hellcat, and you don't drive them slow. You do not drive a Hellcat slow.
This track hawk ain't gonna wreck itself, boys.
Oh, speaking of
Well,
players who weren't drafted and wrecking, Kyron Lacey.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
prison sentence upcoming.
Like, no, what I mean is like, is he toast? Like, I haven't heard anything about that.
I think.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be playing football.
No.
In 2025.
He's gonna be like Henry Ruggs.
Yeah, I mean he.
Does Henry Ruggs come back to the NFL at any point? Isn't he like eligible for parole this year?
No shit. I don't know. Is he?
Is that real?
I think so.
Oh man.
He's about to go put all the waiver claims in for Henry Ruggs.
He's the #1 trending player on Sleeper now.
Bro.
He actually was like earlier in the offseason. He had like a 2-day window
Yeah.
where a lot of people were picking him up because there was a news report that he was going to be eligible for parole.
There's zero chance, bro. He burned a girl alive. There's zero chance that he's getting out on his first thing of parole. Like,
Yeah.
like.
I don't know, man. I work corrections a lot. You see some wild shit.
Yeah, I was just
mean,
confused about the whole Kyron Lacey thing because it seems like, is he at fault? Is he not? Like, I was just confused as the whole situation. Like,
Somebody
Well,
died, right? Isn't
yeah.
it with Karen Lacey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's very similar.
he
And he ran away, I believe.
Yeah, and he ran away. Which, if he was drunk, good job. Like, you saved yourself potentially
We're live here.
more jail time. I'm not. I mean,
Good
I'm
job.
being serious.
He ducked the charges by running away. Let's be real. That's what happened. That's that Rasheed Rice fucking thing. Just
Well,
get out of there.
Rice is incredibly lucky that nobody died. I mean, his like
Yeah.
his career. It's really no different. I mean, what Rasheed Rice and Henry Ruggs did were the same thing. It's just Rasheed Rice
I
got
don't.
lucky. Nobody died.
So what I
Yeah.
understand is Kyron Lacey didn't hit anybody, but he caused the accident. Is the way I'm kind of. reading
Oh,
it.
okay.
I could be way off.
Is that I don't really know how that works as far as the justice. Like, is
mean,
it
if he
you
was
can
at
get a lighter
fault-
sentence because you didn't hit anybody?
Yeah, if he was at fault and he fled the scene, that's its own set of charges. But if he was at fault and he was at the scene and he was drunk, that's a whole different set of
Yeah.
that's a whole different set of problems that you got going on there, champ. Like, that's just,
Either way, I don't think he's going to be drafted by an
I don't think he's playing football in 2025. Like, that's
No.
the long and short of it, and it's unfortunate because I really
like him,
liked him.
play.
Like, I really liked him in this receiver class. I was struggling with placement, but I really liked him in this receiver class. So I don't know,
So
hopefully,
that LSU bump.
yeah. I mean,
Thank you.
listen, they either hit in a historic fashion or they're Terrace Marshall.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely not going back to LSU. They just got Tristan Keys, #1 recruit in 26 for the wide receiver position.
And
they
they got
really?
Barry and Brown and fucking Nick Anderson too.
Yeah, Barry and Brown transferred. Yeah.
They're gonna have the most amount of.
It's up for Nussmeier this year. I think Nussmeier hopefully has a good year.
Nussmeier sucks, dude.
We don't got to do this here, Chef. We'll do this in the DMs. We'll argue about Nuss. The
Give me
fucking
Lagway over nothing.
the gumbo gunslinger. That's my guy.
Oh, dude, he makes me so
First year starter threw up 4,000 yards. Come on, man.
Make me so
Was he perfect? No,
he
but he's gonna start again this year.
he's gonna start again this year. And
He is. Mm.
he's gonna be.
I got him on
I've
some
seen
Debbie
people talking
teams.
about him.
I hope he
He'll
does well for
probably
the
be a
Debbie
first-round
team,
pick next
but
year.
I plan to flip him the first chance I get. If he gets that first round draft cap, if Arch does not declare for the draft and goes back, and Lenore Sellers doesn't hit, and we're trying to decide between Drew Aller and Garrett Nussmeier, it's gonna be Nussmeier. I'm sorry.
yeah, I
Shador
just threw up
Sanders
in my
now.
mouth a little bit thinking about that.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get a commitment
people-
from you that you're going to join another Debbie league.
said this.
Mike, we have one more opening.
No, I said this. I was done last year, and then you guys coached me.
Hey, Mike.
I will peer pressure the fuck out of you
Hey, Mike.
until you join.
Hey, Mike. Hey, I wanted to talk to you or something offline. Just check your DMs. You know, what we do. Don't like it's just hey. So it's gonna say join. You can hit join, but then like don't actually join.
I was actually kind of hoping for that thing where it says like click this to see mature content, and that's what I was hoping for.
That's what the league's filled with. It's just pictures of Josh's feet.
Josh, you gonna tell him the story now?
Oh man. Yeah, so there's a little story behind
Yeah, we better tell him the story.
Yeah, I'm concerned now. I feel
yeah. So
You should be.
basically, I've got my backyard has got this big hill. I was mowing it. Basically, long story short, my foot slipped underneath the mower, and there was some of my toes. So I lost part of my big toe and then my second toe.
Man.
So, yeah.
This guy messages us one day and he's like, "Hey guys, hope you're having a good day. My day was shit. I just lost some toes randomly in a mock draft chat." And we're like, "Whoa, Josh, are you good? What do you mean you lost some toes?"
Was it in a mock
Is
draft?
that why you wear the tracksuit so you could?
I don't know.
No.
Holy shit, dude, that's the most fucking terrifying thing I've ever heard. Because like I've always been afraid to get like my hands cut off by.
It's like my biggest nightmare.
Yeah,
is
it is,
losing
yeah.
my-
Right.
It was pretty scary though. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, no shit.
Were you wearing
Yeah.
shoes?
You do
What?
have
Yeah.
a future as a penguin though. Like with like that.
Just
whole
cut the shoe.
thing. You could just
Yeah.
like run your own crime underworld.
But
Oswald Cobble Josh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So wait, hold on, time out. You got your feet cut off, and your first inclination was to let me let my league chat know that my feet got cut off. Like,
So
did you
no,
go to the
so
hospital first?
oh yeah, I was in the hospital for a couple, for a day or two before I said anything.
Okay, cool. All right. Good.
What else I gotta do there?
It's a good point.
I remember just bitching about my day. I was like, yeah, I had a pretty rough day, man. I had to do this. The wife yelled at me. The dog's barking. Kids won't shut up. And he was like, oh, yeah, man, I feel for you. That is rough. Also, I lost some toes. I'm like, oh, well, shit. I guess you win, Josh.
Yeah.
Dear Lord.
I'm glad you're doing good, buddy. I'm glad you're still
think
here.
about, like,
Thanks.
He loses his balance, but he's here.
No, I could probably run a 4.8.
There you go. He can beat Restrepo's.
Wait, the
He's
only
a therapist, but he knows how to.
4.8 you got.
He's
is
working
like
on it.
4.8 toes left.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've been waiting for Chef to hear this story because he's been talking about those feet pics for a while. And we're like, oh, well.
So is that how this started? Or you actually like? That's damn.
No,
even know.
I have a superpower, and it's to like pull the most deepest, like, just shameful secret out of just out of thin air when I'm interacting with people, and it goes back like 20 years. Like I've never had that conversation with Josh ever, dude. But like I'll give you.
No, we've been saving that.
Yeah, we've never had that conversation before. I just like made a joke about Josh's feet, and it just so happens that Oswald Cobble Josh is a real thing.
Wait, when did this happen?
Back in like May, so almost a year ago.
Yeah. We were just in the Discord. I remember it was me and Nick, that talent scout. In
We
there.
just uncovered that.
Yeah, John.
See, Chev is stuck
What's
on
that?
the screen with the surprise.
No, he's still good.
Same. His eyes are big.
No, he's moving.
Yeah, I
Oh.
was just frozen in shock. Like this happened. Like you're so casual about it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man. Like I'm just out there. Just out there chopping some blades down. All of a sudden, just
Lost some toes.
Did you have shoes on?
Yeah.
I mean, a
Cut
shoe
right
is
through
no
it
match
all.
for a lawnmower, Mike.
No, I know. But like, I'm just trying to picture it in my head.
I know.
barefoot.
I was thinking the same
Are
thing.
you asking him if he only mows his lawn in steel-toe fucking boots? Like, what are you?
To be honest, I do it in slides like I'm a psychopath. So, but
Yeah.
I've seen.
I mean, I'm right there with you.
Jesus.
Yeah, you
We're
must-
just tempting.
No.
Y'all
Yeah.
are growing up. Y'all didn't grow up watching Final Destination enough. That's what the fuck's going on here. That's what.
tip-toe.
I will never drive behind a truck with wood on the back for that
See?
exact reason.
Never.
Hey, he knows. He knows.
And we always keep our tags on our luggage because if we take them off, that's just already spelling bad news.
Yeah, nah, man, boy. So listen, my superpower to pull like the most awkward / embarrassing thing, just out of thin air, is like I'm in the cafeteria. We're like eating dinner with these girls or whatever in college, and like this girl's like me and this girl flirting back and forth, and she fucking is a zinger, and like women aren't funny, so I was like, oh, that's
Funny.
good. Good. And like I just out of nowhere, I just like blurt out, I'm like, the scene from Wedding Crashers where like he's like, make me a balloon animal clown, and like he makes a balloon animal, and he's like,
Yeah.
here. And he goes, that's fine. He's like, that's cool. You're adopted. Your parents don't even love you. And like, I was like, that's a pretty fucked up thing to say. I think I should say that to somebody. So like, she zings me. I'm off. Like I'm caught off guard because I don't fucking. Like, I'm like, you're a girl. You're not supposed to be funny like this. And I go, yeah, it's fine. You're adopted. Your parents don't even love you. And so she, but her best friend does. She goes, hey, Chev, let me come here. Let me talk to you for a second. And I'm like, what? And she goes, Haley's parents actually did die in a car crash, and she was 2 years old.
So, funny story about that.
Funny story about that.
Both my parents are dead, and my adoptive parents as well. So, it's funny when my wife will be like, yeah,
Funny story?
yeah. So my wife will be like, hey, my dad's coming to drop me off for the house or something. I'll be like, damn, wish I could say that. Fucking man, every time I fucking
Just some dark humor about it.
yeah, every fucking time. Dude. Like, it's so mad. It's just like it's fun for me. Fuck it.
Wow.
Imagine texting your mom
We went
or thank you.
We went off the rails tonight, fellas. We went off the rails.
But on that note, I think
Chev, I think you did it again. You made Mike just revealed something. To
I told you, it is a fucking.
It's a funny story about that. Everyone I love is dead.
now we have Chev sharing secrets.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I have like 15 different stories where I say the worst possible thing at the worst time. And it just so happened tonight that I shared that story with somebody who it actually happened to. So it is like, I have to like be real careful because I'm just like, all right, I'm just going to tamp it down. Like just real neutral. Yeah, don't say anything too off the rails. Cause if you do, like, it's coming from a place where it's gonna hurt or just really annoy somebody or just make them think that you're a fucking weirdo. So
well, tonight you said we all need a little more Diddy inside us, and you advised someone to leave the scene of an accident if they're drunk. So that you did pretty good.
Dude, you ever
I mean,
show
like-
Call a
my
person
lawyer,
who's missing
I'm
half of his toes to send feet pics.
yeah, I mean, actually, we have covered all the bases tonight. I'm gonna go tell my wife about this, and she's gonna be like, "You don't need to be on the internet anymore." No, I had a girl at work, like my assistant, when I was working in like sales. Like you get to a certain point, and they're like, "Hey, you need to have somebody manage like the admin stuff of your stuff." And so, like, she realized pretty quickly that I could say the worst thing possible. And so she'd be like, I want you to say it to me, and I'll tell you whether or not it's okay. And,
Got your
like,
checks
most
and
of the time,
balances
she would
in
be
there.
like, do not say that out loud to anyone else. And I was like, okay, all right. This is a pretty good system we got going here. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, we all could use
On that note.
more, yeah, Diddy inside us.
On that note,
Yes.
I think
On that note,
I think it is all time that we wrap this up because I don't even know if
2 hours.
if Riverside is even gonna let me take this.
Are we?
Since it's
we're
over like
still
2
live?
hours.
Are we still alive?
Don't worry, nobody's been watching.
Yeah, hey,
I think we have like one.
no one's
viewer.
watching.
yeah, cut the whole.
Oh shit, we have 4 viewers.
cut the whole misogynistic part about me saying women aren't funny.
You said it like a fact too. You said, and you know, women aren't funny. Women aren't funny.
That's misogynistic.
Well,
All right, we're stopping this.
Chef's been canceled.
All right,
This was
we are no
fun.
longer live. We got off the
Oh man,
All right.
Anyways, we gotta do this again sometime, guys.
fuck no.
For sure.
Ben looks like he's super stressed out. Like,
It's like how cut this shit, man. Half
Ben had
Chef's
hair.
conversations get gone.
Well, we can't edit that. We're live, so.
Oh yeah, no, fuck it, we're going live.
Then you were gone for the drunk driving conversation.
Oh man.
No, I was here. I was here when
Oh, you were?
we said as long as you could run away.
I mean,
He was apologizing to the viewers in the comments.
it's like, man. Well, I mean, seriously though, like, do you want to go to jail right now, or do you want to possibly like not go to
He's
jail?
doubling
for a
down.
Are we
long
still
time?
going on YouTube Live right now?
Shit.
I think we might be. I think we stopped it on Riverside, but we've got some people commenting in the chat. We're watching in the shadows. Entertainment at its finest. Peak live entertainment.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't even realize
well.
when I said, you know,